Greetings. Ah, I'm walking on faith, y'all. I'm walking on faith. That's my energy. I'm walking on faith. And damn it, faith is going to get me to the next spot. That's all I can say. That's where I'm at. I'm walking on faith. Amen. Okay. Hope you're doing good when you watch this. So today I'm going to talk about the water element and also the cup suit in the tarot deck. Um, I did fire and earth already, so check those out when you get a chance. But we're doing the water element today. So the water element. And the reason why I'm doing these are just kind of like little beginner explanations of the elements and how they can show up within you and outside of you, as well as in the tarot deck, just to kind of help you understand um, understanding the element of water and all the different ways it can show up in the world emotionally, psychologically. Like it can just mean so many different things that I think it's really interesting to talk about those different ways that it shows up, right? Um, so the water element represents the emotional realm or your feelings, right? So think of like how your feelings are always changing and moving and flowing, just like how water flows. It's very reflective, right? Your feelings can reflect how just from everything around you, right? Like if you can see your face in the water, and it's like kind of it's you see it a little bit, right? But you don't see it all the way. And it's like a reflection of you, right? And so that's how your emotions are, where it's like you feel how you feel, reflecting what's going on around you, right? You feel angry because of one thing, you'll feel happy because of another thing. So it's like the reflection, right? And then it's always moving and changing back and forth, like, the ocean or active water moving, right? So that's the idea of the water element. And I was saying in my other ones, as above, so below, as within, so without. So like any theme that you see outside of you can also show up inside of you. And any theme that is happening in heat down here in the 3D realm is also happening up there in the spiritual realm, but also in the cosmos with the planets, right? Like the different planets that are up there. So that's kind of where I'll start with that. So then we have our 3 water signs in out of the 12 signs. So you have Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. And Cancer rules the breast and the womb, because like each sign also rules about a part of the body, right? So Cancer rules the breast and the womb, Scorpio rules the loins and the private parts, and then Pisces rules the feet. And I think it's interesting also how these areas of the body are emotional in a way, like your feet, right? When you're walking, apparently, it's like people used to walk barefoot, and like connect to the earth, right? And like really feel the earth before we wore shoes. So it's this idea of like your feet are picking up the connection, in the earth. Then you have the breast, right? Like the emotional connection to the breast, the feminine breast, right? And then the loins, right? Your private areas, and like all of the emotions that flow through those areas, right? And then the womb, right? If we're talking about Cancer, also the womb, like the feminine like center, birthing and like all of the things, right? So it's like these are very emotional parts of the body. Yeah. So, and one thing I'll add, I didn't put this in my other two, but the houses that this rule is the fourth house, the eighth house, and the 12th house. So the fourth house is your like your history, your home, right? Kind of like what you know, your memories of growing up. That's all that Cancer rules the fourth house, right? So that's like Cancer energy of like your roots, what you know. Then you have the eighth house, that's Scorpio's house. That's the house of it sex, transformation, rebirth, like taxes, which I think is very interesting. Taxes, right? Like what? But that goes into that. Also, like magic, right? Like all kinds of magic and stuff like that go into the eighth house. Then you have the 12th house, which is kind of like your unconscious and subconscious, I believe, like your hidden fears, the parts of you that are like subconsciously going on, things that are like happening in your subconscious, right? So yeah, hidden fears, hidden emotional, all that Piscean stuff is like the 12th house. So yeah, I'm trying to see if there's anything else I want to add there. Yeah. And then it also makes me think of kind of like the water element, and then the mirror, right? It's kind of like also a thing of the reflectionary. Reflection coming through, but it's coming through who I am inside. I don't know. Maybe that's a question that water signs ask themselves a lot. Oh Lord, they're saying my connection is unstable. Please wait while we try connecting. Hold on. Give it a moment. Hope it's still going. I don't know. It said it disconnected for a second. I think it's okay. The banner went away, so I'm gonna say that it's good to go. But so yeah, let me just go through the Ace of Cups, through the Ten of Cups, and then I'll also talk about the core cards. I feel like I was feeling weird giving you this arm angle. Okay. So first we have the Ace of Cups. And the Ace of Cups can represent, in the tarot deck, it represents like a fresh new beginning, a new emotional beginning. So like an emotional, a new feeling, a new love offer, a new creative idea even can come with the Ace of Cups. Yeah, like a creative spark even can come with the Ace of Cups. And then like in reverse, it can be blocked creativity, or like think of like even you get yourself a new glass of water and then you knock it over, right? Like that, even that feeling of like, fuck, I gotta clean all this, like that kind of feeling can all come with the Ace of Cups, right? It can also, I'm kind of thinking of like if somebody prepares you a cup, you know what I mean? Like, oh, even like, oh, I made you a drink, right? Like, or like, I made you a drink, like it could go so many different ways, but even just somebody kind of like an offer, right? An offering of some kind. could be the Ace of Cups. So then we have the Two of Cups, which usually is often seen as like a romantic connection card, or just connection in general. It doesn't have to be romantic, but just like a connection between two people, a sharing, right? Like two cups. So it could be a friendship, a love connection. But kind of, it also makes me think of like a table, one of those small tables and two people sitting at it, right? I don't want to say business though. You know what I'm saying? Like I guess it could be a business connection of like, oh, we're just gonna have a lunch to talk about this, but I guess I'm getting extra specific. Vaguely, it's just like a connection between two people. And then this is like broken connection, right? Or maybe not talking to someone you used to talk to, y'all aren't talking anymore. Like kind of like the ending of the connection can be the Two of Cups in reverse. Then we have the Three of Cups. So the Three of Cups is like, a group. Your group, a group of friends, a community group, communion energy, like me and my friends, we all together, you know what I mean? That kind of thing. So that's the Three of Cups, just like how you see, the birds talking together, friendship, that kind of energy for the Three of Cups. And then we have the Four of Cups, which this card's funny. It's like a rat sitting on top of these four cups, but it's really it's like rejection or like apathy, not wanting something, saying no thank you to something, or uninterested in a way, or kind of tossing it, right? Like something you decide to toss away. And in the Rider-Waite deck, it's somebody like sitting by, is that somebody sitting by, or there's one deck I have, it's like somebody sitting by a tree, and then there's like a fourth cup being offered, and they're like this. So it's this kind of like rejection, not interested, not wanting it, not interested in the cup that's being offered. So that's a way to think of the Four of Cups. Then we have the Five of Cups, which is seen as grief or loss, emotional loss, though, right? So in the Rider-Waite, it's somebody sitting by like a large body of water, and they have five cups, and three of them are knocked over, but two are still standing. And so that idea of like, even when you lose, even when you take a loss, because it's going to be like grief, right? Someone passing, loss, deep grief, that kind of feeling. But it's like, even when that happens, there can still be two cups, like things can still be recovered. So I think that's something that's important to remember about this card. But, like the sad horsey, like it's that energy of loss, deep loss. And so, so yeah, that's the Five of Cups. And it's, and then like the reality of you still have to take your two cups and keep going even after grief, So then we have the Six of Cups. So this can represent the past, like your past. Like I'm just looking at the roots here, kind of like things that have happened before, things that have happened previously, old memories, good memories that you have, with somebody or of something. Can be with the Six of Cups, like a nostalgic feeling of like, oh, back then, or somebody I knew back then. Can be the Six of Cups. And I'm thinking there's kind of something else that I I said nostalgia, and then healing also. An energy of healing, I believe, is it represents this card as well. I actually, honestly, I want to just see if there's something I'm missing really quick. Six of Cups, meaning. Just to be for, yeah. Memories of the past. High school reunion. And it can also, I guess I'm seeing on this one, goodwill, caring, innocence, and childhood. So then also, right, in reverse, it can represent, bad memories, bad past memories, or like dark memories also that can come with this card. I mean, it's like the past, the good and the bad, but with upright, it's an idea of like that innocent childhood memory. Yeah. So then the Seven of Cups. So this one is interesting. This can be having many, many options, or like having lots of options, I'll say. But then it's like knowing what option is the right one to choose. Then it can be illusions, right? Thinking there's options that you have that you don't have, or vice versa. In the Rider Waite, I think, or I don't know if it's in the Rider, it is, where it's like all the cups have different little things in it. Some have jewels, then there's like one that has a snake in it. And it's like kind of trying to choose or see which one is which, right? And then it can be illusions. So, like, this could even represent, I don't know, being inebriated in some way, like I was thinking 7 drinks, even like having hella, like drinking a lot, or just like being kind of faded of not knowing, you know what I mean? Just not really knowing. Like that can be the Seven of Cups too, but it can also be just choices and what choice is the right choice to make, and that kind of thing. And then I love with this card, when it comes in reverse, it can be like clarity of shining light on exactly what you're trying to figure out, like removing the illusions or making the decision. That can be the Seven of Cups when it's in reverse. Yeah. So I can't find my Eight of Cups card. I don't know how I lose these cards. Like it's like they just go. I don't know where they go, but it's gone. So it's the Eight of Cups is like walking away completely from an emotional situation. So that can be like the end of like a breakup, and then like completely moving away from it. It can be moving away from a situation, like just kind of packing up and walking away. And that's usually what the picture is, I think, in the Rider Waite. Somebody leaving a body of water behind and kind of heading towards something else. So it's like just the final letting go, that's the Eight of Cups. Then we have the Nine of Cups. So this, I love this card, but it has like a lot on it for me. So it's like the Nine of Cups can represent emotional stability. It can represent like luxury, having all your cups, right? I think in the Rider Waite is somebody like sitting very satisfied with their 9 cups behind them. Like I have everything I could ask for. I'm emotionally fulfilled. 9 of Cups, right? It can also be like a sensual energy, right? Like sharing a 9 of Cups with someone, like sexual enjoyment can be the 9 of Cups also. But then, so right, in reverse, it can become, greedy, somebody who's greedy, like my 9 cups, that kind of energy. No one's gonna take my cups, like that vibes. It can be like sexually lewd, I found with this card as well, like someone who's sexually greedy in a way, or just greedy, luxuriously greedy as well. So that's the 9 of cups. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I just heard emotional stealth in my mind. I don't know, but that's just what I heard, emotional stealth. Um, yeah, or like lust, like extreme lust in reverse too, right? Like the good feeling of lust and then like overboard extreme lust. So that's one way to think of the 9 of cups. And then the 10 of cups, which is like emotional fulfillment. Um, the thing about this, here's the thing about this card. I don't know. I would love to hear from other people. Like, how many times do we actually really feel the 10 of cups in the way that we think the 10 of cups will feel? Like, sometimes I feel like the 10 of cups is more even illusionary to me. Like, I don't know. Like, or just that even when you have it, you still will be feeling a lot of these other things mixed in with this. And maybe that is, significant with the rainbow of like, it's still many, many emotions that mix into it, but it's having everything that you wanted, or like everything that you set out to have, but even still the feelings may not represent this, like I feel like when I first started reading the card and I saw this, I'm like, oh, this idea that it just means that you're the happiest that you'll ever be, and you'll never ever feel sad again. Like, it's like, this is that moment, like this is that moment. And I don't know, now I'm seeing that that's not really what it is, but um you can still set out for it and have it, but you'll still feel all that other stuff too at the same time, But it's an idea of emotional fulfillment, connection. I can even think family, right? In the Rider Waite, I think it's a married couple and kids running around, right? And so it's like you can have that, and then you still annoyed the kids are running around, like it's just that idea of it's what you make of it, but it's what you wanted. I guess that's just how I've been thinking about it. And then in reverse, this can be like, big heartbreak, big loss. And even this can kind of be illusionary when I think about it. Like, you could be like, like I'm so heartbroken. Like, I'm trying to think something that breaks your heart, but like later you see that it really wasn't as heartbreaking as, like, I don't know, the feeling, but it's just the feeling, if you get what I'm saying. Like, it breaks your heart, but maybe it wasn't even everything that you thought it was going to be to begin with, if that makes sense. Like, there's something about this card where, not to get too caught up in this idea of like perfection, I think, but like finding the beauty within having it still. So that's, I don't know, that's how I'm thinking of it. Okay, and now the court cards. So we have the Page of Cups, and the Page of Cups can represent a your inner child, but kind of like childish energy, like this cute little ducky, like kiddish energy, playful energy, inner child, or literally it could represent an actual child, young person, but I always see with this rainbow, it makes me think of, your inner child, like your inner playful energy. It can also represent kind of like a immaturity as well, like immature energy, or like I'm just thinking of someone who like just kind of like um flails around a little bit emotionally, like emotionally, like you never know really what you're gonna get. Like it's like just like kind of like a kid. Like they're moody, they're up, they're down, they're around. Like you don't know. Like that kind of makes me think of the Page of Cups, and that's what the Page of Cups represents in the tarot deck. Let me see too. I'm gonna look it up. I always get a little lost with the pages because I feel like it changes a lot. It can also be communication, curiosity. Look, okay, here we go. Okay, so it can represent. I think. Let me look at it here. Yeah. Okay. So like a sensitive person, sensitivity, a dreamer, naive, innocence, inner child. Um, excuse me, hold on. And then in reverse, emotional vulnerability, immaturity, neglecting the inner child, escapism, and insecurity. So this, I don't know, escapism, this could also be kind of like just imagining, like having this vision of something that's not really realistic, right? Escapism, like that can come with the immaturity of the inner child too. Like this, like, oh, it's gonna be like, this is how it's gonna be. And I just know it's gonna be that way. And then it's like, it's not that way. I don't know. And I feel like we all embody this all the time still, you know what I mean? Like all the time. So that's the page. Yeah. Yeah. And then we have the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups. So this is like this if you're thinking of a person, this can just be a love offer, somebody coming in, like the Rider Waite is somebody on a horse and they have a cup. This is the Knight of Shining Armor card. I think I said that before in another one, but it was the Knight of Wands. And the Knight of Wands is actually really different. Like the Knight of Hot Fire, I feel like is the Knight of Wands, but like the Knight of Cups can be someone coming, even just to give you a message, right? Somebody on an adventure to discover something emotionally, or somebody coming in to like tell you something, right? Give you something like a positive message or something like that can be the Knight of Cups. But also someone coming in romance. Usually this is like a big romance card when you see the Knight of Cups. Yeah. And then in reverse, can be many, many things, honestly. I kind of want to just read it. Let me see. Insecurity in romance. They're saying a shy, vulnerable partner, an emotionally immature partner. I know, but no, this is the page. Hold on. Hold on. I gotta go to the next one. Upright, it can also be someone who's charming, like, yeah, okay. Charm, romance, charm, imagination, beauty. And then reverse, they're saying here, overactive imagination, unrealistic, jealous, moody. So I don't know. I'm thinking I'm thinking of Shrek right now. and Lord Farquaad, right? Like the idea is that Lord Farquaad would have been the knight in shining armor, but then he ended up actually being a knight of cups in reverse, and also really like a king, like really like a just an asshole straight up, right? But then Shrek, it's like you might not have expected him to be that, and he didn't even think that he was that. You see how it's like there's just so many, I don't know, like I think I was used to looking at cards very one dimensionally for a long time, but it's like you can't do that because there's so many twists and turns, especially in the emotional realm. So these things can mean so many things at one time. But think knight in shining armor, but it's like you never know what you're gonna get. You could have a knight in shining armor that's gonna, you know, come and trap you after they take you. You just never know. Like that's the beauty of it and the fear of it too, I guess. Right? um and then the Queen of Cups. So the Queen of Cups is kind of like a calm, comforting person, an intuitive person who is very in tune with the emotional realm, how she feels, what she sees. That is the Queen of Cups, a calm, comforting person, an intuitive person. Yeah, yeah. And then in reverse, it can be, I don't know, like an insecure woman or like a emotionally unstable woman, or someone who uses their emotion, manipulative even can be the Queen of Cups in reverse. Um, yeah. Also a mother, like a mothering person too in the upright, like or even I kind of think like an older sister, like compared, I guess the Empress is seen as the mother, but I could see this as like an older supportive sister, even like someone who kind of watches over you. Stevie Nicks is coming into my mind, which is interesting that I'm thinking of her, but I'm thinking of just like kind of the way she, if you just go watch her like sing one of her songs or something, she kind of has that intuitive emotional vibe. And there's many other, singers that have that energy. I'm trying to think of other ones that I like that have that. Many of them, but it's you know I'm even thinking of like Erica Badu, but like a young Erica Badu. Like I feel like now she's High Priestess Empress energy, but like when she started, you could like see that as Queen of Cups energy, or it's still High Priestess then. You know what I mean? Like this can be the High Priestess also, but if you're thinking of just one archetype, it's like just the calm, comforting, nurturing person, usually a feminine energy, but anyone can embody it though, right? So yeah. And then we have the King of Cups, which is kind of, it's like, and then I was gonna say similar, but then honestly, it's a little bit more like an emotionally stable man who is in touch with his emotions and understands them. Um, and like knows how to work with them, you know what I mean? And like a feminine can also embody this energy. This could even be a therapist. I think therapists, when I see this, are like a guru or something like that kind of energy of like an emotionally stable person who can help people understand their emotions. And then in reverse, it can be, an emotionally manipulative person, like someone who even uses their emotions to confuse you about yours. That's what I heard in my mind. And also with these court cards, right? Just people who are water signs, right? A Cancer, a Pisces, or a Scorpio can represent these cards as well. Which, when I'm pulling cards, I never put that to, like, I never even think about that, which is funny, but it is a part of it. But that's like the last thing I think about, like, what's their sign? But that is a thing too. But yeah, like an emotionally stable masculine energy that is able to work with his emotions in a healthy way, I think, is one way that I see this card. Or like I don't know, like a loving dad, or like when a dad is in a loving energy, right? That can be the King of Cups. So it can be a lot of different things, but I feel like that's what I'll say. Yeah. Um yeah. So I feel like that's really all I need to say for this one. That's just a little intro to it. Let me see if there's anything else that I just want to add. I don't want to, forget anything. Yeah, no, I think that's it, y'all. Okay. So that's the water element. That's the water element. And then I guess, when you think also body, okay. So bodies of water and how they can represent the signs, right? Because I've been thinking about this a lot lately, right? So Cancer, right, is active water. So the energy of Cancer would represent like a river or a lake, like moving water, but not like the ocean, right? Like the ocean would be Pisces, but active water would be kind of like a river, right? um I'm hearing that song, take me to your river, I wanna go. I don't know why. Oh, please let me know. I don't know why that's coming through, but it's like when it comes through, you just have to let it come through. Um, so yeah, active water, Cancer. So think of it like literally a river, right? Then here's the one for me though that like really interests me is Scorpio, right? So Scorpio is fixed water. So when fixed means like unchanging, you know what I mean? So it's like a swamp, right? Like water that's not filtered at all. And I went on this whole like tangent by myself about this because it's fascinating to me of how Scorpio, like how deep Scorpio can go, and how you never really know everything that's going on with Scorpio because it's there's so much in there. Like, does that make sense? There's so much in there and it doesn't move. So it's like not, it's just like all kinds of stuff in there, right? And like if you think of a swamp, it's alligators under there. It may be a couple of dead bodies in there, right? Like you just don't know. Dead things, eels. Like I saw one video of like someone was fishing in a body of water like that, and then this big ass black eel, it was like this big, like hella big, came and like grabbed the fish. And it's like you wouldn't think that was in there, and that's also representing of like the body, the loins and the privates, right? Like this deep transformational energy. And it's cool, like where would we be without it, right? Especially in our culture, as sex obsessed as our culture is, like clearly we love the Scorpio energy, but I just think it's fascinating as hell just when you think about it that way of like everything that's underneath that fixed water. And then I was also thinking like a pool too is fixed water. Like it doesn't, unless you have a filter, the pool has a filter. But the idea of it kind of being like it doesn't move. And then Pisces, which could represent the ocean, right? And then the vastness of the ocean and how deep the ocean goes and how there's so much in there too, like there's so much, but it's like always changing. Whereas Scorpio is intense because it doesn't move. Pisces is always moving, like heavily moving, and everything that's in there, all kinds of creatures and like, I don't know, all kinds of stuff, different, like how when they're always showing a new ocean sea creature that no one's seen before, and you're like, what the fuck is that? Like, that's the imagination of Pisces too, right? Like this imaginative energy that is amazing, and interesting and scary and like just everything, right? And because it's the 12th sign, the final sign, it's the wisest sign. So, because it has all of the other signs within it too. So like the ocean, right, has like it uncovers everything. So I love thinking about that. I've been thinking about that a lot lately. And it's just really interesting to me. So I just wanted to add that extra little tidbit, something to think about when you're thinking about the water element. I mean, this is going to water the hell out of me. So yeah, okay. So that's all I wanted to share, y'all. Hope this helped. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.